In this demo, I'll be mainly talking about the muscle that controls the movements of the scapula and the shoulder. The muscles that elevate and retract the scapula tends to be the same group of muscle, and the same with the depression and protraction. And the scapula also inferiorly and superiorly rotate. You can see that I listed trapezius muscle separately here, and that is because trapezius muscle does most of the movement of the scapula. Depending on the point of contraction, it can elevate, depress, and retract the scapula. And also when contracting together, the trapezius can superiorly rotate the scapula. And now let's take a look at the elevation and retraction. The muscle group that controls the elevation and retraction of the scapula, levator scapulae, as its name suggests, it elevates the scapula, rhomboid minor and rhomboid major. Also, as you can see the fiber vector here, it pulls the scapula towards the middle and also elevates it. Therefore, elevation and retraction. And the next one, protraction and depression of the scapula. If you look at the muscle that does these actions are actually the pectoralis minor and the serratus anterior. So when this contracts, it protracts and depresses. So in terms of rotation, there are two directions the scapula could rotate. Superior rotate, it means the glenoid fossa rotates upward, and the inferior rotation means glenoid fossa rotates downward. And if you look at the levator scapulae and the pectoralis minor, when these muscles contract, it's acting directly kind of near glenoid fossa, therefore it pulls the glenoid fossa downward, resulting in an inferior rotation. However, the serratus anterior, because the muscle attaches to the medial aspect of the scapula, and when this muscle contracts in an infralateral fashion, it kind of pulls the glenoid fossa up, resulting in a superior rotation. And now let's take a look at the arm movements. The arm is able to flex and extend. It can abduct and adduct, and also it can rotate medially or laterally. So the arm flexion is a result of the action of this group of muscle. The coracobrachialis, deltoid, bicep brachii, and also pectoralis major. When these muscles contracts, it decreases the angle between the humerus and the shoulder. Arm extension. So here we have the teres major, deltoid, latissimus dorsi, and the long head of the tricep. Note that the deltoid here only means the posterior aspect of the deltoid, because the deltoid can be separated into three parts: the anterior, lateral, and also the posterior. And here it is a posterior aspect of the deltoid that does the arm extension. And the next one is the arm adduction, and this action brings your arm closer to the body. And the muscles that carry out this action is the teres major, subscapularis, pec major, latissimus dorsi, and the coracobrachialis. For arm abduction, these are the two major muscles that raises your arm to your left or right side. The supraspinatus muscle, this is responsible for maybe the first 15 or 25 degree of the abduction. Because of the existence of the coracoclavicular ligament, it is preventing this muscle to pull the shoulder higher. Therefore, the rest of the abduction action is actually carried out by the deltoid muscle. Once it passes the first 25 degree, the deltoid took over the action and continues to be the primary muscle for abduction. And next one is the arm rotation. And let's first take a look at the medial rotation. The teres major, subscapularis, pectoralis major, and latissimus dorsi, and deltoid, more specifically the anterior aspect of the deltoid, is responsible for medial rotation of the arm. And then finally, the lateral rotation of the arm is done by the infraspinatus, deltoid muscle again, and the teres minor. And here, for lateral rotation, it is mainly the posterior aspect of the deltoid that does the lateral rotation.